Hey friends, happy Monday. Welcome to a new work week. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. Once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you are watching from. I am live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching on a different platform. And also, if at any time during tonight's project you like what you see or you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube. Hit that like button, hit the notification, turn on your notifications, hit the bell, do whatever it wants you to do. Also make sure you hit that thumbs up button and you hit the heart button, because that will not only help me get seen by new eyeballs, it will help you by telling the algorithm that you like this kind of creative content. Therefore, it will start pushing more creative content into your feed. So it helps us both, and I greatly appreciate it. With that, let's pop on over to the comments. See that Jason is watching from the other side of the door, and he says, happy Monday. Okie doke. With that, let's go ahead and, I don't know, do you want to play with this front-facing camera view? Let's do it for just a little bit. So before I flip the camera, I'll show you what we are working with this evening. I pulled out some of the new size F transfers. These are the new 9x9 transfers. Let me see if I can, here's one. So this one released earlier in the summer. It is called The Kitchen is Closed. It says this heifer has had it. So there's that one. There are a couple of size F transfers from the Chalk Times Debbie launch that came out. This is the Holiday Dove. I think we may use this one tonight. This one is another Chalk Times Debbie release. This one actually is in last chance. So once it's gone, it's gone. So you might want to check that out. I also know that these two are also in last chance. This one's called Let's Get Frosted. And then this one is Back Again Someday. So for all us 1980s Frosty fanatics, this is a perfect transfer. And then this is from the Chalk Times Tiffany Thiessen collection, and it's called Oh What Fun. And actually, some of the designers have taken the H and the O and have reversed them to make a shirt that says ho ho ho. So just a little tidbit for you. I also have some new stuff that we will go over. I will showcase when we are all finished. But let's go ahead and flip the camera and we'll get started with our project. Okay. So I also have the 9x9 shelf sitter. So this is just like the Christmas trees, the snowflakes, the stars, all of the cutouts. This one happens to match the 9x9. And then I pulled out some 10-inch rounds, and I have faux stained them with some antique wax. So we will use those as well. These fit perfectly on a 10-inch round. They fit perfectly on, obviously, the 9x9. Just need to figure out which ones we want to use. I think I definitely want to use the snowflake. I think I want to use the dove. And I think we'll use the kitchen is closed. So we'll put the other ones away. So real quick, I want to distress paint these. So I'm going to get some cardboard out just to protect my glass mat. Let's see how big of a tower we can make over here before it all falls down. Okay, we've got a couple pieces of cardboard. And we will real quick distress paint these. Okie doke. So this is not ink, this is Waverly white chalk paste. It's the Snow White paste, and I just put it in there because it's a little easier to get to. It's a little easier to thin out if I need to thin it out, which I kind of do. I have a big, like, I don't know if it's like a 32-ounce thing of chalk paint, so I just don't like to transport it all around, so I just put it in an old ink container so it's easy to use. So we're just going to quickly distress these. I don't want perfect coverage. I want some of that stain to show through. That one around. Everyone have a great weekend. I feel like I had to go back to work so I could take a breather. I was busy this weekend, but that's because I've put everything off that I needed to do for my vendor booth, so I'm kind of last minute Lucy here. Okay, so nothing perfect, edges still showing. Classic little rustic vintage farmhouse look. We'll do the same thing on this one. So there are some new Black Friday specials that launched today, so we can kind of talk about those while I'm painting. I also want to remind you about and let me know if the video or the audio still works. Just a reminder about the Club Couture kit that is still available. It is the, I don't remember what it's called. I forgot. But it's the Snowman Winter Scene Transfer, and it comes with the frame, and it comes with 3 paste single packets. Something Borrowed, which was the color of the month this month, which is not available anymore. It closed down after the 15th. And then you get Bright White and Black Velvet. So I lied. I told you I was going to do that tonight, but I think I'll save that project for next week after I get through all this vendor stuff. But that kit is still available through the end of the month or while supplies last. It is a subscription kit that comes directly to your mailbox, and it has everything you need for creating that project. There is a 3-month minimum commitment to sign up, but you can cancel at any time after that 3 months. We also have the Perks program, which I don't talk about enough, but I should because it's a great program. It's kind of like a crafty Costco membership. So you pay in a $20 a month membership, but you automatically get that back in a $20 product credit that you can use within 30 days. So hello, in crafty math, that's basically free. Plus, as a Perks member, you also get 30% off retail pricing. And when there's specials, those specials also are on top of your Perks discount. So you can stack up some savings. And then there's typically usually Perks member and designer promos going on. So you can definitely save some dough during those promos. So then let's go to our next. So our first, nope, that's the wrong one. The first Black Friday special for this week, for this period, is this drawstring wine bag. We already have a wine bag that has some tote bag straps, but this one is a cute little drawstring wine bag. It is only $6 while supplies last. So get it while it's still available. Okay, I think that's good. And then the next couple of specials are, there is a hanging chalkboard. It is 8 by 5.5, I believe. It is $10. It's a cute little frame, chalkboard with a frame. And then all C and D transfers and select surfaces are 50% off. So lots of great transfers are 50% off. And then there is a free gift with purchase. So with any $50 purchase, while supplies last, you can get the size A Flakes Welcome Transfer for free. So make sure you check those out. Okay, so we got all of our rounds painted, so we'll let those dry a little bit. So we're going to put those to the side. I'm going to leave this one over here. And then let's get our shelf sitter out and get it open. So this is 9 by 9, and it is about 3/4 of an inch thick. There's quite a few sizes of these. I happen to have a we have a 3-pack of 3-inch blocks. So you get 3 3-inch blocks. There's a 5 by 5 square. Right now the cozy pals from last Christmas are in the select surface 50% off. These guys, I happen to have them right here. If you remember from last year, the elf and the reindeer, these surfaces are 50% off. Got to remember to get those out. Those are so cute. So if you happen to have this transfer and you wanted more shapes, this would be a great time to get those since they are 50% off. And those are going to fall down at some point. Okay, so I think I'm going to sand a little bit just to make sure I have a smooth surface. And you can sand these all the way down. You'll get to a little bit of darker wood. You can stain these, you can paint them. I just want to get this one a little bit rustic. The cool thing about these two is they're basically double-sided. So you could do like a Christmas and a winter theme. So we could do a Christmas theme on one, and we could do this one of the snowmen on the other side, so that you would have a couple months worth of designs. If you do want to redesign on them, you would just need to sand off the design and then either repaint or restain. But if you look at that corner, that's what the wood looks like underneath. Jason said he'd forgotten what these little elf, I love the reindeer. Oh, so cute. Oh, yeah, they're going to fall. Just put them down at my feet. And so then I'll trip over them later. So if you hear a loud crash, that's just me tripping over the... I'm going to go ahead and just dress the edges now before I get to chalking. Okay. Oops. Get all that dust off. Now it's good and smooth. We'll give it a wax. And we should be good to go. Okay. So you can use the Couture surface wax. I just prefer this finishing wax, and I have a kiloton of it because this is the same jar I've had since 2018. And there's still a ton left in there. You don't need a whole lot. You just need a little bit to kind of smooth out the surface, and then it's going to, the wax is going to act as a barrier between the wood surface and the transfer. So it's going to protect the wood surface, and it's going to keep the transfer from sticking so hard that it either pulls up a layer of my painted project or it stretches and distorts the transfer. So you don't want that. So I'm going to flip my applicator over and just kind of buff in all that wax. And I do have a cart link in the description of the video that has most of the Couture supplies in that cart link. You can open up that cart link and add or subtract as many items as you need or you already have. Okay, so I'm going to get out my fuzz towel, and I think I'm going to use haven't even decided what colors I'm going to use yet. Okay, so we've got some holly leaves that will be green. These are some little pine sprigs. Got some berries. So I'll need a couple of greens, maybe some brown, either ash or, I know the dove's supposed to be white, but it's not going to show up on a white. So we may do the dove in ash, and then maybe do the words in, we could do a shimmer, or we could do black. Okay, this will get us started at least. So let's get ash and black. We'll get Nominee for fun. And I need a couple of greens and cherry. I also noticed, I mentioned the last chance section earlier, I did notice that Lagoon and I think it was ash that is in last chance. So that means that those colors are going away, which is super sad. They might return full time eventually, but right now they are in last chance. I do know for sure Lagoon was. There was a second one. I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. Okay. If you're new here, these are reusable silkscreen transfers from Couture. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times depending on how well you take care of them. And because they're reusable, I need to return them to this backer sheet. So I'm just going to mark that this is the back. I also just like to write the name of the transfer. Just so I can get it put on the correct one. So then these are sticky back, so I need to peel it off of the backer sheet. And you can also tell on the new ones, like you can see this side is white and this side is a little bit yellow. When I flip it over, you can kind of tell. So this is the front side, this is the back side. But on the old ones, you can't always tell. There's usually a matte side and a glossy side. So marking them just makes it easier to know which side is the back side. So right now I am what we call fuzzing the transfer. So I'm putting it on this terry cloth fuzz towel just to pick up some of the lint that might be on this towel, just to knock back a little bit of that adhesive so it's not very sticky. Just to kind of keep the transfer from sticking so hard that it distorts or stretches it. Just helps with the longevity of your transfer. So I'm just roughly using the edges of the shelf sitter to kind of place my transfer. And then we're going to burnish it down. Okay, so I picked out for my green, I picked out Pesto and I picked out Ivy, which Ivy is an en vogue color. I'm going to get, sorry, I'm trying to work on my enunciation instead of saying I'm gonna get. I'm going to get a couple of multi-tools. So this end is a great end to stir your pastes and get around the edges, especially when you're cleaning them up, which I don't do a very good job of doing. And then this edge is about a 1/2 inch squeegee, and it's great for some of those smaller detail spaces. I think I need to get out some brown too. So I'm going to get out Espresso. I'll get a third multi-tool out. Okay, so let's work on, there's a few ways to do this. You aren't going to be able to cover the whole thing with color and then pull it up when you're all done, because you'll end up with spots where the paste dries in the silkscreen area, and if it does that and you pull it up, it will pull all of your paste. So we're going to do the paste and pull method, and you can either go around by color, you can do little sections. We may do a mixture of both. We'll have to see. So I know I want to do these holly leaves in ivy. So let's just get started with those for right now. So I'm just going to use my squeegee end of my multi-tool and just use it to spread the chalk paste on those holly leaves. And then you kind of want to even out those squeegee lines. I think I might do sections. So I'm going to come over here and do this little greenery sprig. And I know that these little pieces are probably pine sprigs, but because the joy of this is being able to do it how you want to do it, you get to pick your colors. So we're just going to use brown. We're going to make it look like little twigs instead of sprigs. Okay, so then I've got another little sprig over here. And then we're going to have to figure out what to do with that. But let's pull this up for right now because I don't want it to dry. And then, oh, there it is. I'll plug my quick dry tool in. Okay, so we'll dry that. Jason says it's an intricate transfer. Yes, it is. So let's just pretend like you love a blue and silver Christmas theme, which is great if you do. So you could totally use blue and silver on this. So maybe do all of it blue and then do Peace on Earth and maybe the little flourishes in silver. Easy peasy. 2 colors. You could even just do all of it blue and then maybe do some silver wax around the edge. So it can be as easy and one and done, or it can be multiple colors. So that's another joy, is that it can be kind of whatever you want it to be. Okay, just looking at my colors. I don't want to add too many colors, but I'm kind of leaning toward because there's a couple of other, gosh, there's so many little sprigs. Like there's these pieces and this piece. Was thinking of doing these. Of course, there's just that one. But then there's these little pieces. Okay, I think we'll do these shaped pieces in Dune. Okay, so while we're in that same spot, and then we'll come back in and we'll do all of the red. I know it may look a little weird, but I just didn't want to add 14 greens or other weird colors. Hello, Miss Ashley. How are you doing this evening? We are playing with the new 9 or size F 9-inch transfers. They're not new, but they're newer and new to me because I haven't ever used them before. So this one is the Holiday Dove transfer. So I've got the 9x9 shelf sitter, and then I also have a few 10-inch rounds over here as well. So we might try to do 2 tonight. We'll do a holiday. This one's going to take a bit, but then we'll follow up with a kind of a one and done. Okay. And then this one over here was pesto. So we're kind of jumping around, doing little sections to paste and peel. And then we'll do these holly leaves. Okay, so then we'll pull that up. Ashley says she's doing good. Look at me knocking out projects. Going live is the only way I get things done. Plus, I owe all of you a lot of lives that I have missed. I just need to get more consistent. No excuses, right? I gotta keep up with you doing all your pin orders, girl. You're knocking it out of the park. Okay, so we're gonna add in cherry because you know we don't have enough colors. Just need to add in a few more. So we're gonna do all of these little berries in cherry. I love it. This is one of my favorite colors of chalk paste. This and Couture teal. But this cherry, I love it so much better. It's such a better color than candy apple. Kind of a deeper red. Hey, Bonita. Let me get these red berries pasted and then I'll read your comment. I saw that you popped on, but I didn't read your comment yet. I gotta get this section done. Ain't no paste is gonna dry on me. Okay. Benita says, it's me, late again. That's the story of my life, at least when it comes to work. on the phone with your daughter. Can hardly wait for her and the girls to come. Are you going to go to CNCL this weekend? That's so exciting. I know you always look forward to that. Maybe if I start tomorrow, I'll get enough stuff made to have a booth in 5 years, but I have to start tomorrow. One of these years, maybe. There's a lot of fear in that. I will say it now. And I just don't work ahead very well, so it would be hard work for me. So we are using the new to me size F transfers. Don't think I've used one. Ooh, I put that in the wrong color. So we're going to do a holiday one and an evergreen one. Let me pull that up and then I'll show you some of the different. So we have quite a few. So this one is the Holiday Dove. It was one of the Chalk Times Debbie Westbrook releases. And then we have the Kitchen is Closed. This heifer has had it. Sorry about the glare. This one is also a Chalk Times Debbie size F release. This one is, I believe, in Last Chance. So if you have not gotten it and you want it, you need to get it. These two are also in Last Chance. This Let's Get Frosted. Super cute. He's holding like a little Coke bottle. And then this one is called Back Again Someday. So if you are a Frosty the Snowman fanatic from the 80s, this one would be perfect. Little cardinal sitting on his nose. This one is in Last Chance. So these three, I know are definitely in Last Chance. So you need to get them if you haven't. And then this one is a Chalk Times Tiffany Thiessen release called Oh What Fun. And a few other designers have switched the H and the O to make shirts that say ho, ho, ho. Bonita says she feels me. Her son-in-law is always hounding me to have a booth at his Christmas event in Burlington. I'm afraid, very afraid. Oh, you could totally do it. And it doesn't have to be a big event. Of course, I don't know what that event in Burlington is like, but CNCL is huge. So, but yeah. I just need to do it, but I'd have to start tomorrow, and I wouldn't even be ready for next year. I'd have to prepare a few years in advance. Bonita says she loves that snowman. Yeah, he's got Frosty vibes for sure. So we are using Pesto, Ivy, Dune, Espresso. Let's do this little guy while we're here. Cherry. It's kind of an odd combination, but there's a lot of foliage in here, and I just didn't want to have all green. Okay, so I've got espresso for this little twig, even though I know it's supposed to probably be an evergreen sprig, but we're going to make it into a brown twig tonight, just to add in some different color. And then I think we're going to use ash for the dove. I know it's supposed to be white, but it's not going to show up on this shelf sitter. And then we'll probably use black for the words. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up just to be on the safe side. I don't want anything to dry. So we'll come back in with Dune for that one. Okay, so we'll wait and we'll do that other one down there when we get to it. So it looks like just some berries next. Oops. Got a lot of paste. I'm going to get a detail tool for those. So we also have a detail tool that is less than a quarter of an inch, less than a quarter of an inch. So it's really good for some of those tight spaces. Okay, that's the dove. So we'll flip it around. Actually, we'll peel that part up. Sorry, this one's going to be a little tedious, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. That's the cool thing about these designs is you can do it based on your theme. You can do it based on your comfort level. So if you again, we talked about like if you like the blue and silver Christmas theme, just do it all blue and do the text in silver, or do it all in blue and put some silver wax around the edge. There's some silver leaf that would be really pretty. Whatever floats your boat. That's what makes these fun. Jason says it's already looking gorgeous. Thank you. Okay, I need pesto. And I'm a project turner, as you can see. It just makes it easier for me to paste. Gotta hurry. I can see some of my paste drying as it's sitting out. The pesto's getting kind of a scum, like a film on the top, kind of like when instant pudding or cooked pudding used to thought cool. It would get that skum-goomy kind of. Okay, so last night, yes, I was live last night. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. We talked about the main dishes that you like to serve for Thanksgiving. So what are the desserts that you like to cook or consume at Thanksgiving? I've got another sprig down here. I think I better pull. Ashley's asking if we're doing any Black Friday shopping. in the big old town of Larned, so about the only Black Friday shopping around will be Walmart in Great Bend. Um, the boys will probably go just for fun, just to watch all the shenanigans. How about you? I mean, the only things in Larned is like it's a very small Ace Hardware and Dollar General. Oh, and Big R's, but I don't think there's much from Big R's. But so about the only place is Great Bend, and they only have Walmart. Jason likes that cream cheese pudding. Oh, we call it 4-layer pie. Other people call it better than. Some people call it like better than Burt Reynolds or better than Intimate Activities cake. But it's just is that what you're referring to? It has the pumpkin, almost like the pecan shortbread, pecan sandy type crust. And then it's a cream cheese, whipped cream layer, and then it's a pudding layer, and then it's a whipped cream layer. And you can do it with different, like we do it with butterscotch pudding. Sometimes we do it with chocolate. You can do it with lemon pudding. Or not Burt Reynolds, Robert Redford is what they refer to it as. But we've always just called it 4-layer pie. Let's do a holly leaf. I think our family is the only one that refers to it as 4-layer pie. Most people refer to it as Robert Redford or better than Intimate Activities. It's about that time of the evening that I start to get sloppy. I just start slinging paste. Okay, let's pull all that up. She's looking pretty. I gotta quit getting in the habit of doing that. Just hold it on there. No need to fling it around. Okay, let's keep going. We're getting close. So we've got pesto. I also have some new products. It's from mostly the Black Friday sales from last week, but I think some of that stuff is still available. Some of it is not. I think we'll do this color here. And then I can close up my pesto. I can see the moisture just draining out of it as it sits there. Ashley says she's pretty happy with a good pumpkin pie and whipped cream. Yeah, what's your ratio to pumpkin pie? What's your ratio of whipped cream to pumpkin pie? That's what I want to know. Because pumpkin pie is just a vehicle for Cool Whip. I like pumpkin pie, but I'm more about the Cool Whip. It's kind of the same way I drink lattes or cold coffee. It's just basically a vehicle for creamer. I love pecan pie, especially my mom's pecan pie. So I need to figure out how to make her pecan pie because it's darn good. Okay, a couple of sprigs. Let's do that last. Okay, so I have this dune colored branch. Don't ask me why I picked dune. I just thought it would be a good color between the espresso and the two greens. I didn't want to add another green. I didn't want to add a funky color. I could have added maybe, I guess, like a currant jam or what's the new, is it Cabernet? Chardonnay. Cabernet, Chardonnay. I can't remember the new maroon color. Guess I could have done that. Too late now. That would be a pretty color combination too, along with the cherry and the. Jason says 100% Cool Whip, 0% pumpkin pie. Yeah, he's not a pumpkin pie person. Ashley says a lot of whipped cream. Yep, amen. Ashley agrees that pecan pie is really good. My mom makes the best pecan pie. The best. I don't know what that is. That's weird. I'm going to make that a part of the spray, but I don't think that's what that is. Okay, all we have left are the berries and then the dove and then the text. Okay, so let's get crack-a-lackin'. Probably should pull this up before I do the cherries, or the berries, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go rogue and hope I don't regret that. Must pace faster, must pace faster. Okay. Let's get that pulled up. That was a lot of pasting. I don't know. There's just a random line coming from the bird's beak. So I just made it a twig. And Benita says her grandmother's cream pie. So what is a cream pie? She also says she likes the colors I picked. Thank you. It's kind of a woodland color wave. I think it's a great way to kind of blend the fall, autumn into Christmas with the dune. Okay. Now that I've used every multi-tool, I think I have a few more in there. Okay, so I pulled out, I thought we would do ash for the bird, probably. But I also have, we could do black for the bird, but I think ash might be a better compromise between white and black because white won't show up. But we could do the text and the flourishes in either black, or I also have nominee. So while I'm pasting the bird, and then I need to figure out, I guess that's the blush on her cheek. So while I'm pasting the dove, you be thinking about how we do the flourishes and the text. Do we do black? Do we do nominee? Do we do a combo of both? Like you could do black text and nominee flourishes. Talk amongst yourselves while I paste the dove. I don't know. I think I need to find something for her, the blush. If I remember to not paste the blush in ash. Okay, let's hope this does not become a mess. So let's do her tail feathers since those have a larger surface area. And I try to paste away from where I already have color. It's just easier usually for me to do it that way. And I try to always do like black, or in this instance ash, last. Otherwise I end up with black in every color. If I do it first and then I try to paste other colors, it all just ends up black. I learned that the hard way. Okay, let me get this section and then I'll look up and see if you're all discussing our color combos. Benita says ash and the gold. So ash for the bird and gold for all the text, or ash. Oops, I almost went into the words. You might need to clarify that a little bit. Keep the text ash and do the flourishes in gold. I don't know. You'll have to clarify. So we have the dove, the text, and the flourishes. So the only issue with the paste and peel method is that now this is all the stuff that we pasted first, so it's super dry in that Silkscreen, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to clean, and you may get some more staining than normal just because that paste has been allowed to really get dry in the Silkscreen. But even if your transfer becomes discolored, as long as you get all the remnants of the paste out and it's just stained, you should be good. Okay, let's take a break. You've been doing a lot. I don't want that to dry. Benita says ash for the bird and swirls, gold for the words. There we go with that. Okay. Okay, A little bit more on the bird. Bird is the word. When I'm in these tight little areas, I don't always worry about, especially with the fine lines like this bird, I don't always worry about evening everything out because it's a fine enough line that it doesn't really show it, but just do the best you can. If you go back and forth, it should even most of that out. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the swirls while we're... Nope. Let's peel up what we've got going. Okay, so we have all of the bird done. Oops, I've got a little boo-boo right there. Ooh, it's been an hour. But it's been a fun hour. Okay, I need to do the eyeball, but I'll do the eyeball here in a little bit. Okay, so ash for the bird and the swirls. So that'll be cool because it'll kind of give the bird some movement. And if you were kind of like me and you were on the fence about whether you should do gold for the text or black for the text, in this instance, we're going to do gold. But if we do the gold and then decide that we don't like it, gold is easier to cover up than with black than black is to cover, or than gold is to cover up with. Gold is easier to cover up with black than black would be with gold. If I tried to cover black with gold, it wouldn't be as easy as it would be to cover gold with black. There, I said it. And then I still have the kind of the blush. I assume that's what that is. And wait, that's camel. Okay, so this is Nominee. It is a metallic sheen. It's a metallic paste, not a shimmer paste. I am just about out. This is every probably not every multi-tool and detail tool I own, but pretty darn close. Actually, let's just get out a mini squeegee. This will be a little easier. So this is not a glitter metallic. It is a glitter shimmer paste. It's a metallic. So it doesn't have actual glitter suspended in it. It has kind of a mica metallic powder. It's really pretty. We have this, and we have Disco. Well, I don't know if Disco is a full-on color, but it was a color of the month. And then Bubbly, or I think Champagne was the other. So pretty. I love Nominee. Okay, so then we'll peel that up. And then the Nominee actually kind of mimics the dune. It doesn't make it look so out of place. It kind of pulls all that together. And then I pulled out Dear Diary, which it was an old color of the month. And I think we'll use it for the blush. And I need to do his eyeball. Close that up. Of course, I may need it here a little bit. And then we'll get Dear Diary. Yay, very pretty. Okay. So then just to clean this transfer, all I need is just a water source. So either a spray bottle, a utility sink. I put mine in a tub with just a tiny bit of water. And I lay it paste side down into the tub with a little bit of water, and I kind of scrub this paste on the bottom of my tub to kind of reactivate the paste and kind of help scrub it off. And then I use a board eraser to rub off the rest. And then you're going to flip it over and you're going to rub the board eraser on the back side to help release some more of that paste that's stuck in the Silkscreen. And then let it air dry, sticky side up for about 20 minutes. And then it should be ready to store on the backer sheet. So I got a little bleed here, and because I waxed it, it won't be perfect, but I can use the pointy end of the detail tool to kind of scrape a little bit of that bleed away. It won't get it all off, but it'll get a lot of it off. So they're so pretty. Good color choices, people. Thanks for your help with the dove and the flourishes and the text. So pretty. Jason says beautiful. Okay, now let's really quick. We'll do a one and done one so I can show you how easy how difficult and how easy they are. I won't do the snowflake because that won't look very good with white. Okay, I'm gonna sand this one super quick. Sorry if you have earbuds in. I just want to get a smooth surface. Smoother surface. My paint kind of raised some of those wood fibers again. Get some of that dust off. And then we'll re-wax. Rick says it's beautiful. We'll tell Rick thank you. It's very pretty. Very, very pretty. Very traditional. Very, I don't know, does it fit in that whole Ralph Lauren style that's going around again? Is that the Ralph Lauren Christmas? I see it all over TikTok, but it just looks like regular Christmas stuff to me. Okay, so I'm going to wax this really quick. Again, just to protect my wood surface and my transfer. And I think we're going to use the kitchen is closed, and we'll just do one color. So you need to let me know. We're going to use this one. Do I use black velvet or do I use ash for kind of that farmhouse look? Heck, I guess I could even use brown. I should do it in black, and then I could give it to my sister who raises Black Angus. Of course, I don't know if she'd like it, but she might. Okay. Let's open it up. And I think I did link all of the 9-inch size F transfers in the cart link. I'm just going to put back heifer. Okay. So then we need to fuzz it. This one's going to be super fast. I think I'll do it in black. Maybe my sister could hang it on her inside her pantry or something. So this is a 10-inch round from Hob the Lob. I think it fits pretty good. Okay, so let's get a small squeegee. Technically that should be a large, but it's not how they named them. So we're just going to use black velvet. Mine is a little dry, but a little stiffer than normal. So we're just going to have to work fast. Ooh, because she doesn't like to spread very well. Hopefully this works. Hopefully I got it all. Try to even things out before it dries. Here's hoping. Cross your fingers. I should have probably used my new black. Easy peasy, just like that. Oh my goodness. There's so much detail. If you thought this other transfer had detail, holy moly. Check that out. There is no way I would even attempt that with a vinyl stencil cut on a Cricut or a Silhouette. Bonita says black, and then a bow could be in blacks, grays, creams, or whites. Yep. Dang, that's a lot of detail. Look at all that. It's cute. I love it. Super fun. So I can put all that back in there. Okay, and that's it. 2 projects, an hour and a half. Not too bad. If I wasn't chit-chatting with you, it would have taken, wouldn't have taken so long, but I thoroughly enjoyed chit-chatting with all of you. So definitely not complaining. So I will just punch a couple of hanger holes, and then I'll add some twine, maybe some beads, a few little fabric scraps. I'm going to find my mouse. Bonita says very, very cool. Okay, so here is our first sign, the holiday dove, very pretty. All the fun colors. And then don't forget, you have the back side that you can still chalk on. So we could do an evergreen or a winter design on there, and you could have it up for a couple of months. Just flip it around. And then this one is our other one. The kitchen is closed. Too fun. Love that one. Love, love, love that one. Yay. Okie doke. I'm going to hop off for the evening. I will be back live again on Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you for all of your suggestions. Don't forget to check out all of the Black Friday deals that have... Oh, wait. Speaking of, let's put all this to the side. Let me show you. A lot of this was last week's, but I think some of it is still available. Let's figure out. I'll turn the camera back around. I don't know if that's all of it. Okay, let me reflip the camera. If I can find my mouse. Okay. So, I'm missing a few things. I have a big old pile of junk over here. Oh, yep. And then I still have one more thing. There they are. Okay, so these are the sublimation key tags. They are still available. The sublimation transfers that go with them are not, I don't think. And then there's something else that I was going to show you, but I don't know what I did with them. We had some chalk markers a couple weeks ago. I was going to show you those. I think they're right there. I have so many piles. I'm afraid if I pull it out, the pile's just going to go to the floor. So these were the chalk markers that were available a couple of weeks ago for Black Friday. These were the fabric markers that were available. I'm hoping that they bring all these back. We have the Something Borrowed Color of the Month that ended on the 15th. Just know that I don't even know the phrase. From now on, the color of the month will only run through the 15th of every month. So if you want to get it, you'll need to get it before the 15th of the month. So then these are the sublimation tags, but my upline has also chalked on them. They're a very slick material, but they work with any sublimation design. And then they came with these sublimation decals. The keychains are still available to purchase separately. And then I believe these, this is another heat transfers. It's kind of hard to see, but this one says pray on it, pray over it, pray through it. And then there's a couple down here. Let me just take it out. And if it's like the other, well, you only get one of this. You only get one? Feels like there might be two. So on the bottom, it has a heart, a rainbow that says pray, and then a sunshine that says pray, 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 pray. There usually are two, but mine only has one. And maybe that's how they did this one. So the colors look dull now, but once you heat press them onto a sublimation surface, they get brighter. I can get that back in there. I'll just fiddle with that later. It's like tissue paper. Get in there. And then there was another one that I think was called Snow Pals. And then I got a couple of the wine bags. I thought I had ordered a few of these, but I couldn't find them, so I ordered a few more. So we'll do some projects with some of the wine bag transfers. Like one of them says Making Spirits Bright. And then these, I literally think I got the last two packages, but these are the little bookmarks. So I got 2 packages of 4. They did sell out, but hopefully they'll bring all of this back in. So those were my goodies. So I hope you enjoyed all those. Okay, now I'm going to sign off. So I will see you on Wednesday. Be checking my Facebook page for all of the specials and for my Wednesday night live. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching.